Aloha class, this is Gigi from Kauai Community College. In this video, we will be looking at the derivative of cosine of x. Okay, so in order to do that, we do need to know two special limits. First is the limit as h go to 0 of cosine h minus h all divided by h. That is going to 0. I'm going to call that the blue elephant. And the pink elephant is the h approaches 0 of sine h over h, and that is going to 1. Okay, now if you don't know how that works, you might want to go ahead and make a table of values or look at a graph so that you can convince yourself that those limits are 0 and 1. The question here is, what is the derivative of cosine of x? So the derivative of cosine of x by definition is the limit as h goes to 0 of cosine of x plus h minus cosine of x all over h. That's the limit definition of the derivative. Okay, the question here is, do you remember what cosine of x plus h is? So I'm going to rewrite limit h goes to 0, and I have h on the denominator. Cosine of x plus h, cosine is cosine, cosine, sine, sine, right? And it's subtraction. So that would be cosine x, cosine h, minus, that's how I remember it, cosine, cosine, sine, sine. Sine x, sine h, minus the cosine of x that was there. Okay, that looked like coo instead of cosine. All right, so we would say cosine of x. Okay, now, again, we're going to do a little factoring here and separate the limit as h go to 0 of something over h here, minus limit as h go to 0 of over h here. Okay, and I write h like this so it doesn't look like an n. All right, so for this first and last term, they both have a cosine x. I'm going to go ahead and factor out cosine x. So what's left inside is cosine h, cosine of h, minus 1. Okay, and then I'm going to write here sine x, that's the second term there, and then sine of h over h. The blue elephant is this guy right here, limit as h go to 0 of cosine h minus 1 over h. That go to 0. The pink elephant is sine h over h. As h approaches 0, this goes to 1. 0 then multiplied by anything is 0. So the first part is 0. So I will have this minus. This is 1. When h is approaching 0, sine of x is going to still be sine of x. Multiplied by 1 is going to be sine of x. So we say the derivative of cosine of x with respect to x here is negative sine x. Okay, so or we will say the derivative of cosine x is negative, oops, you want to write in white and black, negative sine x. The derivative of cosine x is negative sine x. So far we know the derivative of sine is cosine, and the derivative of cosine is negative sine x.